This video is brought to you by Madhouse Collectibles. Hey everybody, welcome to Transformers Masterpiece Theater. I'm the Rusty Mechanic, and did you happen to catch me on the latest episode of Community Chatter Day with Pake for Life? If not, I'll leave a link to that episode right here so you can go and check it out. And while you're over there, please subscribe to Pake's channel. He's an awesome guy and a really good member of the community, so make sure and go check it out and don't forget to subscribe. Seriously, why are you still here? Go subscribe. But that's not why you're here. We're here to talk about this guy, Fans Toys FT-46, which is Tesla 2.0, their rendition of Perceptor from the G1 cartoon, and apparently their interpretation from the IDW comics, apparently? I don't know, I haven't actually read the comics, I probably should. So let's get into it. Initial impression straight out of the box is it looks really good. There's lots of nice details that are going on throughout the entire figure. And a little too much lubricant. Particularly the details in his chest where there's a maroon chrome finish that's going on in behind this clear plastic chest plate. Although I'm not really a fan of the clear chest plate, it just doesn't remind me of the G1 aesthetic. Thankfully, Fans Toys has included this solid red chest piece that's included with the multitude of accessories. Hashtag unnecessaries. More on that later. Which you can swap in to replace the clear one. Tesla does have a really nice face sculpt. It is a dark, almost black. There is a bit of a metallic finish to the helmet. Yellow square that's in the front here with a white face and metallic chrome blue eyes. And some really nice details captured in all of the face sculpts and the various head sculpts. With some chin details and some cheek details going up the side of the helmet. And there's also some details in the helmet lines here as well, like I mentioned before, with the rest of the figure having some very nice line details. This guy does have some really nice heft to him thanks to the abundance of die-cast metal that you can feel and see throughout the figure. Although once again, oddly enough, the right knee on Tesla seems to be a bit weaker than the left. I found this situation occurring in both the copies that I have, but as you can see in the shake test, the right knee seems to want to let go a little more than the left. What is it with Fans Toys and the seemingly abundant knee problems where one is looser than the other? The robot mode is extremely cartoon accurate, matching the maroon color scheme very, very nicely. Even though there are some instances in the cartoon where he's actually depicted as being red. But I'm sure we're all familiar with cartoon inaccuracies, so let's not beat a dead horse here. The blue, on the other hand, seems a bit bright, and although it does look good, it doesn't quite seem to match up with the blue that's used in the cartoon for the forearms and the thighs. The line details up and down the figure also do an amazing job of capturing that cartoon aesthetic with the line and sculpt details that are in around the shoulders, the forearms, the sculpt work that's in around the stomach here, especially with the abdomen plate here, and then the line details that are going on here in the upper thighs and the sculpt work that's here down in the lower thighs. The alt mode is decent, and while it does make a decent attempt at matching the cartoon depiction, there's a lot of line paneling going on throughout this section of the figure, as you can see here where the arms are, as well as these areas that would typically make up the chest. All of this is hidden in behind the chest plate, but then get revealed once you drop it down here for the microscope tray. Nonetheless, it still does look really good on the shelf. It is a very nice looking alt mode for Perceptor. Both modes are very clean. There's no kibble to speak of. There's nothing grotesque that's hanging off of the bottom or the back. Obviously, it has no backpack whatsoever. And the alt mode, of course, cleans up very nicely as well. Nothing ridiculous hanging off the back or off the sides. The alt mode's even got some wheels that are on the bottom. There's a set here at the back that flip out as part of the transformation, and then there's these two that are hidden away in the legs that come out during the transformation, so that if you wanted to, you could roll them around on the table, or you could recreate that one scene where he actually transformed into a car-sized microscope and rolled out with the rest of the Autobots.
Autobots, transform and roll out!
Seriously though, what was that about? Now there is also a third mode to this figure. It is a tank mode. It does come from the IDW comics where Perceptor's character is a bit of a super sniper assassin badass. But that's just not what I remember about Perceptor, and to be perfectly honest, the tank mode doesn't look that great. It literally looks like a microscope is jammed on top of some track base, but it doesn't look like a tank, even if it's meant to be a Cybertronian tank. It just doesn't look good to me, so I won't be doing a review of the tank mode, but I will leave a link to Pake's live review here where he did show off the tank mode. The paint poses an interesting dilemma for collectors, especially ones like myself looking for cartoon accuracy. The maroon has this nice metallic finish and it looks really good, while the blue's got a more flat semi-gloss finish. It doesn't quite match up with the cartoon. It still looks really good, I just wish it was a little bit darker. Now, one of the reasons why I take my time with these reviews is so I can see how durable the figure is and how durable the paint is as I work through making the various videos of the one figure, like the unboxing and the transformation videos. What I started to notice is various imperfections in the maroon, particularly where it transitions from the die-cast parts to plastic. So the front part of his leg here is die-cast, but this part is plastic. And I'm not sure if you can see it in the light, but in the right lighting, you'll see there's more of a glossy finish to the die-cast part that makes up the front, as opposed to these two pieces here that are plastic. They don't have the same shine or sheen or finish as the metallic part. On top of that, the maroon appears to have an issue with rubbing off and particularly with chipping, especially on the die-cast parts. And it's not just during the transformation, it's even while I'm handling the figure or when I'm putting it down on certain other materials. So I'm constantly finding red residue on my hands or even on my fingernails. And if you notice in my 3-minute transformation videos, I have this non-slip pad that is normally on the table here, and it just helps me to keep the figure stable while I'm doing the stop motion work. But what I found was that the paint actually stuck to the non-slip pad. So when I picked Tesla up off of the non-slip pad, it actually left some of the paint behind on the non-slip mat. So it's just a word of caution here. The maroon paint is not very durable, so just be careful with it. In addition, the blue also seems to be prone to scratching and peeling. However, most of this seems to be due with clearance issues during the transformation. So while the paint does look really, really good, you do have to exercise a bit of caution with him when you're handling him or when you're doing the transformations. So Tesla's really only got one feature. It's really only workable or usable in the alt mode here, and it does have to do with the microscope / shoulder cannon that you see here in his robot mode. There is actually clear plastic lenses that are in either end of the barrel. Now you can see light passing through it, but they're not clear or anything. You can't use it to see anything. You can't focus with it. It doesn't work that way. But what is neat is that they did add a feature in where if you turn this dial, it does actually cause the microscope barrel to move in and out. It's kind of a neat feature. It's absolutely useless because it doesn't do anything. You're not doing any weird science experiments with this thing if that's what you're looking for. But the feature's kind of neat. Shameless self-promotion time. Don't forget, if you are enjoying these videos, please give me a like down below. It sure does help out a lot. Don't forget to subscribe as well and hit that notification icon so that you get notified every time that I release one of these videos. And don't forget, I still have my Push to 1,000 giveaway going on. I think I'm like 8 subscribers away right now from hitting 800 subscribers, which means we're very close to doing another live giveaway of some t-shirts, some Quintesson t-shirts from Madhouse Collectibles. So make sure you comment Push to 1,000 down below so you can get yourself into that draw. Again, as soon as I hit 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to give away an FT Apache or an FT Iceman. It's going to be your choice, but somebody is going to win one of these figures. Quick size comparison for robot mode. Here's FT-41 Sheridan, MP-19 Smokescreen, and MP-25 Trax. Transmission is fairly simple. The instructions are clear enough. You're not going to get into any trouble with this one. As mentioned though, there are some clearance issues. If you follow the instructions exactly, you're most likely going to end up with some chipping and scratching on the upper legs. Take a look at my truly methodical transformation video if you want to see an alternative way to transform the legs just to try to avoid the scratching. Size comparison for the alt mode, we have RP01 Acoustic Wave, FT11 Spotter, and KFC P4A Plus Transistor. Buckle up everyone, this is going to be a long segment because if you thought MP52 came with a bunch of accessories, wait until you see what this guy comes with. There's microscope shoulder cannon, rifle sniper rifle, missile launcher, IDW serious face, IDW happy face, IDW this is my face on drugs face, don't do drugs kids, cartoon sad face, cartoon serious face, cartoon happy face, toy accurate face, and two more hipster looking avocado toast eating goatee alternate faces that can go on any of the heads except the toy accurate one. Because really, who cares about the toy accurate version anyway? Cartoon accuracy, baby! And then finally, the chest plate. I'm trying to remember the last time I saw this many unnecessaries before in a figure. I mean, I'm good with some accessories. They give us options. They let us customize our figures the way that we want. Blah, blah, blah. But why in the name of boxing kangaroo pajamas did we need 8 different heads with 10 different faces? Do I have to start looking for ways to display my accessories now? Is there a market for this? Did I just figure out $1 million idea? Comment down below if you think I'm insane. For the head swap, it's really easy. The head is actually just sitting on a swivel pivot joint, not your typical ball joint. So it is just this square peg that's at the back of the head. So you're literally just going to grab the head and pull it forward. I find the shoulder cannon does get in the way, so I typically just pop it off real quick just to get it out of the way. And then you literally just want to grab the head and just pull it forward. So it's just sitting on this, like I said, this swivel pivot joint here with a small peg in the front. So I'm going to use this crazy head just to put it on, but as you can see in the back of the head, the little peg in the front just goes in that hole there, and of course you're just sliding it on. So it's a very simple process to swap the heads, and they just pop into place. And there you go, simple as that. As I mentioned earlier, he does come with 2 additional faceplates. They are IDW designed because they have the goatee in the bottom. The idea is that the faceplates could be swapped in with the IDW faceplates so that you have Perceptor without his scope eye patch going on there. But these faceplates do actually fit on any of the heads except for the toy one, like I mentioned before. So you could actually swap this faceplate in for the cartoon one and give Perceptor a goatee in his, cartoon helmet. Speaking of the 2 helmets, I did just notice while I was doing this that I talked about the cartoon one with the translucent yellow plate at the top, right? The IDW one doesn't have that. It's actually black at the top center there, and there's some slightly different line details that are going on in the helmet, slightly different shape as well. So I thought I would just show the 2 of them as a comparison real quickly here. But the face swap is very easy. There are 3 screws. You do need a screwdriver. Unfortunately, it's not as simple as just popping the head off and replacing the faceplate. You do actually have to take these 3 screws out. So there's one big one at the top and 2 smaller ones on either side. The reason being is you actually have to separate the 2 halves of the helmet, so you can slide the faceplate back off the front of the helmet, and then you just slide the replacement faceplate through the peg there and screw everything back together. The screws, typical Fans Toys stuff, these screws are in there very tight, so the first time you do this, there's going to be a lot of resistance. Just put some elbow grease behind it, they will come out. And I find this top one's a little difficult too, it's almost like you have to do a couple half rotations to find exactly where the best place is to get the screw, because it keeps hooking on something inside. Anyway, so you might have to work at it a bit just to get that top one out. And then, so like I said, the 2 bottom ones are really small. So don't mix them up. Big one goes in the top, small ones go on the bottom. Don't lose these, you'll be very sad. And then you just need to work at separating. Again, same thing, the first time I did this with this particular head, it was a little difficult to get it going, but once I got it separated, it came apart very easily. And like I said, so the faceplate is just sitting on this peg here, so it's just a matter of sliding the face off. Right, so you separate the two pieces, just like that. And then we'll take the replacement, slide it onto the peg, push it all the way forward, take the back of the helmet, slide it on the 3 pegs, and then put all your screws back in. Again, 2 smaller ones go in the bottom. Apologize guys, I'm having a bit of an issue this morning with the shakes. And then finally the big screw goes in the top. And there you go, simple as that. Chest plate swap is fairly easy. It is just a matter of pushing the plastic piece out from the back, so you do have to actually lift up the center abdomen chest plate just to get it out of the way so that you can pivot the chest plate down. But it is just 4 pegs right here in the back of the chest plate that you just need to press out and work at. It's not very stiff, but I do find you get to a certain point where the pegs are flush and you sort of lose the ability to continue to push them forward. So then of course your handy dandy spudger comes into play, and just continue to push the pegs forward. And then eventually you'll get to the point where you can actually, there's actually like a lip here that you can get your fingernail into, or if you've got your spudger in hand, then you can just put the spudger into it. But you just have to work at it. Sometimes you'll actually push on it, and the pegs will actually pop back into. There you go. So when you get it to a certain point, it'll actually just fall out. But if you find it stuck there, you just can use that little ledge that's there just to work it out as well. So it does just fall out like that. And the clear chest piece, I mean, it just goes right back in the same way, of course. Just line up the shape to the chest, and it just presses into place, as simple as that. And then you can lock the chest piece back in, put the abdomen back into place, and there you go. And then finally, the last 2 accessories I'll show off here are the 2 weapons that he comes with. So he does come with the missile launcher. I think this was the weapon that came with the toy. The original toy, you could actually press on this lever and the missile would actually launch. This is all just one piece, but it's very nicely sculpted. There's lots of nice details that are going on here. Maroon color, same as what's on the figure for the trigger at the top, or the release mechanism at the top, and the missile itself. And then the rest of the weapon is painted in the same dark, almost black metallic color as the figure in the pelvis and the shoulder cannon. Really nice looking weapon. I believe this is the one that he had in the cartoon. When I'm looking at the pictures, this is all I see really is this. But this has got some nice features in it because they designed this to not only look like the G1 cartoon version of his weapon, again some very nice details going on here, scope on top, mag here, you know, peg on either side so it can fit into either hand. But they've also built this to transform or change into an IDW looking sniper rifle. So there is a bipod that's right here that can be pulled forward. This actually releases the barrel though, so now you can actually extend the barrel. So now you have a very long sniper rifle. And the one other feature that's kind of neat, not really sure that it serves any real purpose. I suppose it's an interesting function, but the scope is actually removable. And you just need to slide it forward. It is extremely tight. And yes, it will pop off, boys and girls, but the scope can actually, so it's just a groove here, but the scope can actually slide onto the groove that's here in the clip as well, so it's almost like you're adding a drum magazine to the gun. So if you're gonna have it in sniper mode, make sure you just have the bipod out of the way so that you can put the clip on and then extend the barrel, but there it looks like that when you have everything moved around. Again, some other, you know, cool features with the accessories, so do what you will. Overall, some fairly decent articulation, typical of what you would find in a Fans Toys figure. Head does tilt back and forward and is sitting on a pivot swivel, so it does rotate 360 degrees. Shoulder rotates 360 degrees at the shoulder, will also pivot up about that far. You can move the shoulder cap out of the way to get the 180 degrees. Bicep swivel, 360 degrees. Bend at the elbow is well past 90 degrees, almost 180. Wrist rotation, 360 degrees. Thumb is on a ball joint with a pin at the base of the knuckle, with individually articulated fingers, and of course the typical pin at the primary and a pin at the secondary knuckle for each of the fingers. There is a waist swivel, but you do have to pull this abdomen plate forward and move the red tab up out of the way, put the plate back into place, and then you have a hard ratchet for the waist rotation. There is an ab crunch, you just have to separate it from the back. It doesn't tilt forward very far, but there it is. There's individual hip plates in the front and on the sides. And there's also a single butt flap plate at the back. Thighs on a universal joint, so it does rotate 360 degrees. And with the universal joint, you can swing the legs out 180 degrees. Moving the back plate, you get the leg to kick back 180 degrees, and it will also kick forward 180 degrees. Knees on a hard ratchet with a double pivot, so you get well past 90 degrees, almost 180. And the feet will rotate in about 45 degrees, doesn't rotate out. There is a toe tilt that's here, doesn't rotate forward or back. There is a little bit of movement at the heel there, but that's more part of the end of the transformation to stabilize the figure. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you like this video, please make sure to hit that like button down below. Sure helps out a lot. Please make sure to subscribe to my channel as well so you don't miss out on any future videos. Hit that subscribe button, hit that little bell so you get all the notifications. And a reminder as well, my Push to 1,000 giveaway is still going on. If you want to enter into the contest, just make sure that you comment Push to 1,000 in this video, any of my future videos, or any of my previous videos where I have the word giveaway in the title. I'll be giving away Quintesson t-shirts every time that I hit an even number of subscribers. So when I hit 800 subscribers, 900 subscribers, and 1,000 subscribers, you'll be put into a draw for one of those Quintesson t-shirts that I'll do a live drawing on. And when I hit 1,000 subscribers, I'll be giving away Fans Toys Apache or Fans Toys Iceman to one lucky winner, your choice. Thanks a lot. This has been Transformers Masterpiece Theater. I'm the Rusty Mechanic, and we'll see you next time.